Videodrome, 1983. Bored? Nothing to watch? Don't wanna Netflix and chill? Then sit back, relax, and watch the broadcast of Videodrome. Oops, getting bizarre visions and hallucinations now? That's what you get while watching Videodrome 1983. Written and directed by David Cronenberg, whose idea for Videodrome 1983 came from an eerie TV signal out of Buffalo, New York. It makes sense to me. I've seen it and understand completely. With help from Rick Baker doing the special makeup effects and Howard Shore composing the music and soundtrack, you got a bona fide acid trip here, folks. Starring James Woods from Family Guy and Disney's Hercules fame, plays Max. Debbie Harry from the lead singer of punk band Blondie fame, plays Nikki. Sonia Schmitz from Street Legal and Traders fame, they are really good Toronto, Ontario shows, plays Bianca. And a big shout out to Les Carlson from Black Christmas 1974 and Deranged 1974 fame, plays Barry. Videodrome 1983 has the pace and tone with the set design of one big drug-fueled acid trip with trippy as hell violence, odd sex, weird color palette, and bright to dull insane lighting and techno-surrealist psychosexual themes, and unique as all hell quality that is Cronenberg. That is indeed Videodrome 1983. Spoiler. Get ready for the spoiler. And prepare for the new flesh? Spoilers. Videodrome 1983 is by far one of the greatest films, if not the greatest film, to come out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It is top 5 for me all-time movies to watch. After watching Videodrome 1983 so many years ago, David Cronenberg has let me down with other movies. There is such a cool vibe and tone and set design that not only Cronenberg did with Rick Baker and with the music of Howard Shore, but also you gotta give credit to Mark Irwin, who was the director of photography and the cinematography, and the art direction from Carol Spicer as well. Angelo Stay did the set decoration as well. Like this was a big department, a big team of people that came together, and Rick Baker had a bunch of 20-something-year-olds just kind of coming up with new radical ideas and set designs and color palettes. If you go to imdb.com and you look at the trailer that they have for it, it's so radical and cool as well. So if you watch that trailer, then you watch Videodrome, you're in for such a wild ride for about 90 minutes. It's such a cool movie. And the message is there. It's clear, if you watch, the character himself, James Woods, is looking for a new edge. He's looking for new content, and his new idea of new content is torture porn, violence, radical sex, and it goes out to hunt it and find it, and he ends up and at the end of the movie shooting himself because he found Videodrome. And Videodrome is it's a psychedelic acid trip sort of thing. It was like a CIA an experiment, with acid, trying to get people to obey and take commands without willingness, and do as I say mentality. These are your orders, and that was Videodrome. That was the virus, and the James Woods character was subject to it right from the start, and it's just such a wild trip. And as the trip goes, and as the movie goes further along, the trip goes further along as well, and it's just so cool. And there's just something about it that I can't get enough of, and it's just Cronenberg did such a great job of just visually stunning, and when you get someone that doesn't have a very good acting. Like the lead singer of Blondie was. He wasn't shy by it, and she did a very good job of acting and doing the best she could, and it was just visually she's a stunning woman. So it was so cool to have just kind of this beauty that you see, but it's all twisted and maligned, and it's nerve-wracking to see too, because she's subjected to so many abuse and cuts and abrasions and physical and mental strain throughout the movie, and it's crazy to see. It's such a trip. It's awesome. It's an awesome movie. I love the layers of it too. James Woods' character goes to a glasses hut, and he's looking around for a pair of glasses, trying to figure out what Videodrome is and all that. And the next thing you know, it turns out that that's a secret weaponized company. It's a shell company. It's a facade. This glasses hut store is a weapons factory, and his kind of his co-worker is a part of it, and tricks him from the very beginning, and he gets his just desserts. Really, he does. He's a part of a Toronto company that wants to sell smut and violence and bring in a new level of a viewer who loves that sort of violent sexual stuff. And on his journey, he gets curmudgeon-y, he gets the very thing that he wanted, and it's crazy, man. When I first watched this movie, I was so high on drugs, and it was such a trip. And watching it for this review that I'm doing to you, for this wonderful rant I'm putting on right now, I was sober as hell. I was sober, and I still enjoyed the hell out of it. I enjoyed even more now than I did back in, I believe it was the late 90s, last time I saw this. And this is 1983, so you're not going to get the greatest visuals, the awesome CGI. You're getting awesome practical effects. It's gross, it's slimy, it's gut wrenching. It's real. It's practical. There's a part where he stuffs his hand inside of his sternum with his gun, and he loses the gun, but his hand's all clammy and gross. And then he pulls it out, his gun, and it's all clammy and gross and sticky, and then it starts wrapping around his hand, and as he's losing his mind, he's losing all sanity. It's absolutely awesome how they're able to pull this off. There's also a sweet scene while he's at the glasses store, where he puts on this awesome looking helmet, and then the video game pixeled scope and hallucination of it was happening, and the helmet started glowing from the outside, and visually there was just like this like pixelated sort of thing going on. It's crazy and it's trippy and it's awesome. I couldn't get enough of that look, of that ambiance from that scene. It was so cool. And I'm just so impressed. And let's go back to the lead singer of Blondie, Debbie Harry. And it's impressive. It's impressive for someone to come on set, and she's known for singing, and the acting's not the greatest, but Cronenberg took exactly what he needed from her, and it added to this awesome trip, and it's so cool, and you can. And as Max Wren falls further into it, it's such a cool movie, and I can never get over how it just starts from one tone and then just gets weirder and weirder and weirder, and then it just goes into complete insanity by the very end. You look at the whole filming landscape, and it's straight out of Toronto. Every scene is Toronto. It's all Toronto. Even it's a it's a fake Toronto company. It's a fake television company out of Toronto. Like Cronenberg wrote everything. It's not like, yeah, this is filmed in Toronto, but we're gonna say this is New York or Boston. No, he right away says, no, this is filmed in Toronto. The story is in Toronto. The characters are Torontonian, and I love that too. I love that you didn't have to put up a sign saying New York subway station or blah blah blah. It's all authentic Toronto, and you see it too. You see Wellington Street, you see Queen Street for the spectacular optical store that he runs into. Max Wren's apartment is actually Fleetwood Apartments, which is on St. Clair Avenue, and you got Bathurst Street. That's the little where the homeless guys go to get transfixed by the television, by watching television. And the hotel meetings on King Street as well. It's all Toronto. It's Scott Pilgrim versus the world sort of thing. It's a love letter to Toronto of sorts as well, because they celebrate the city in this movie. And I love it. I love every minute of it, and that's why it's top 5 all time for me, because they celebrate so much here, and they warn you as well. They warn you of overexposure to television, and the two guys that are sick and tired of Max and his sleazy ways, and they're going to end his reign of terror of trying to get trying to get more risque television on TV, and by doing that we will subject you to Videodrome. And it's so cool. There's parts in this movie that when the TV starts shaking, and character Nikki is like willing him, giving him a siren song of sorts, to kiss her, and her big Debbie here has beautiful lips, and just this giant television with her beautiful mouth, and James Wood leans in, and the TV wraps around him, and it's crazy. It's such a cool trip. Now the reason being is there's a simplicity to it as well. It's well told, where you as the viewer understands completely what's happening. Cronenberg tells you right away, you're subjected to Videodrome, and now you're hallucinating, and your reality is crumbling around you. And I understood that as the viewer. As the movie went on, as it got weirder, as the special effects really started to ramp up, as James Wood's character Max starts losing it even more, as we get more crazy, trippy Nicky visions, which is so cool, you understand that this is what's happening to him. He is losing his mind. Videodrome is winning. And it didn't have to be over-explained to me when he goes to the Glasses Hut store, and you finally get the reveal that this is a weapons manufacturer, and they're manufacturing a weapon. They're training you to become a mindless assassin and do the dirty work. It was all explained to me very well. And that's the problem I have with David Lynch and Cronenberg and a bunch of their future movies. And it's my problem. It really is. No joke. Sometimes their movies or television shows are too smart for me. It's as flat out as I can say it. It's too smart for me, and it gets so weird and convoluted and mixed up that I can't see what you're trying to do, guys. And Cronenberg is he gets really smart in his directing and his visuals and his writing. That is too smart for me, and I don't understand it. And at the end of the day, I just want another Videodrome. It's as simple as that. That's why I have trouble with Cronenberg movies in the later years, in the mid-90s and 2000s. I can't wrap my head around it. It's just too complicated at times, and it drives me nuts. So that's where it kind of, even Videodrome holds even a higher standard to me, even higher. It's of its era as well. It's like Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner. I love Blade Runner 2049. It's one of my top 10 movies as well. But you're never gonna get that gritty, grimy sort of film of 1983 like Videodrome is. I absolutely love how visually it looks. Its aesthetic is just absolutely awesome. And there's just so much about this movie, and so much of it has to do with the early 80s soundtrack and music selection. You're not going to have anything of this era. Well, you can. I hear a lot, actually. Let me step back a little bit. A lot of 80s techno music does get replicated effortlessly and easily now, and it sounds great too, and I listen to a lot of it. And it's in here in full bore, this horror thriller techno music, 80s style, and it sounds awesome. It works visually. The music and the visuals and just everything that Cronenberg put together, it just handles so well, and it looks so good. And I love the music in this movie. I love it so much. It sounds good, and it adds to the looking good as well. I want to rewatch it now, to be honest with you. I want to get back into it, but I'm busy. I got other stuff to do. This is only a hobby of mine, and I can only put so much time and effort into these into my channel, into making these videos. That's why it's kind of half-assed. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what happens. I can only put so much time and effort, and I want to move on to other stuff, and that's just what I got to do. But my love for this type of genre of film and the era that it came out of, the early 80s, it holds for me, and it holds so well. There's not a single scene or moment I don't like in this movie, and it's cringy. There's a lot of cringy moments in here that it makes me feel uneasy. There's the torture porn itself is gross, and it makes me uneasy, and I don't like it. But it's awesome because that's the message it serves to us. You're not supposed to like it. You're not supposed to understand it. You're not supposed to agree with it. And that's the Videodrome, and it's so cool how that's how it works. And that's the thing. That was the end game for the bad guys or the good guys. They're either good guys or bad guys. I don't know. They seem like maybe they're good guys, but they're doing bad things. They want to lure everyone that likes that sort of crap and that grossness, and then they want them to become mindless hitmen or soldiers that do their bidding. And then I guess they send them to assassination hitman missions. And it's cool, it's awesome, and James Woods did such an amazing job acting. He's an amazing actor. He's in one of my most favorite movies as well. The vampire one. John Carpenter's Vampires. He's so cool. He's so gritty. He's grad. He's awesome. He's a rough guy, and this movie really turned out so well in so many ways, and I just absolutely love this movie. So at the end of the day, though, guys, it's so important. Bootacular, spooktastic, or eerily awesome. Hands down, Videodrome, 1983, eerily freaking awesome. It is. It's absolutely awesome. The moment I get some free time, I'm gonna rewatch this again. That's how cool this movie is. And if you haven't seen this, if you've never come across a movie like this before, and you're a big fan of sci-fi, horror, what type of movie would this? What would Videodrome be? You know, that's what's so cool about Videodrome. It's like a sci-fi horror. It's a thriller too. It's got a noir a bit to it, you know, but it's a movie all itself. It's all its own, and it's so cool. And if you're a fan of horror and you've never seen this, you're in for a treat. You're in for a treat, because this is one of the best, if not the best, coming out of Canada. Okay, guys, that's going to do it for this rant, for this video, and we'll see you next video. We'll spook you later, and we'll scare you next time.